You are gonna, because I already took a picture of this here.
Massachusetts for soccer when you start, like when you're 2 or 3 years old. That's how field hockey starts in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and parts of New York and Delaware. So we really weren't very competitive in the field hockey market. So the USA Field Hockey has started an amazing program called Fundamentals, where they're trying to get kids at a very small age in their kindergarten through third together. So we kind of, move the food chain along, and they're really good feeder programs to middle school, and then middle school to the high school, and high school to the collegiate level. So club kind of just plays a part in all that. We play January through June. We do speed and strength training in the first couple of months, 2 or 3 times a week, so that the kids at the higher level are prepared for the collegiate level. And they practice 2 times on the weekends, and then April, May, and June we play in tournaments. We have about 75 tournaments between the whole entire group that play, and we do the older girls. We try to have them in tournaments that are at colleges that they're possibly looking at attending. The younger ones are colleges also, and we have different little rules. Like the youngest ones have to go and take a selfie in front of the library so that they can actually see what a college looks like, and different things about the colleges.
Do you have any upcoming tournaments that you're looking forward to?
We have 18 teams going to 5 tournaments this weekend right now. We have one at Bryant as we speak. We have 3 at University of New Hampshire right now. The little ones are there right now. They're probably almost finished. We have 8 teams going to UMass Lowell tomorrow, 4 going to Providence College tomorrow, and 2 going to Merrimack. So
a lot of kids involved in the program here.
It's amazing.
This
it's
is great.
grown tremendously in 10 years, but it's and it's not all about getting your kids recruited to college. It's about meeting new friends and growing the program and kind of just learning what it's about. And there's a lot of life skills that we kind of try to feed. They do this year we did some team bonding. The older girls, U19s, are going to Escape the Room next weekend.
Nice.
And last weekend or 2 weekends ago, the U16s did a scavenger hunt at the Patriots Place and Cupcake Jar. So
that's
it's
exciting.
Good. It's fun. it's a commitment because it's hard to kind of put high school sports and other sports, and other commitments in life with it. But the kids that really like it and kind of stick with it, then just it's all about it.
And where do you play? Where do you practice? Where do you train?
So we have 4 locations. We practice in Taunton at Four Kicks. We have a location in Cape Cod at Willie's Gym, and we have a place in Norwood, and then we have another place in Hanover. It's called Starland University. So they're everything is played at the club bowl is played on turf.
All indoor.
Outdoor. And most of it's outdoor. January, February, March they play indoor practices, but all the tournaments are mostly outside.
Okay.
Last year we played UMass Lowell, probably made the same thing this year, but the varsity team shoveled off the field the day before, and we played the day outside in snow.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So it sounds like a pretty intense program. And girls, what do you have to say about the program? How did you guys get started, and why AAU?
Well, we started maybe 6th grade. Yeah, like 6th
really?
grade.
Oh, wow.
And just kind of to look for something new. And it's been so fun. We've got to see so many colleges and make so many new friends from different towns.
Sure.
It's been awesome.
Sure.
And I'm a senior in high school, so I've been.
Oh, why don't you say your name? Well, when we're on
You
the
guys
air, I
can-
mean.
Oh, I'm George Costello.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Christina Boudreau. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm committed to Union College for their field hockey team. They're Division III in the Liberty League, so I'm excited. And I've been doing strikers since like the second year or third year that it started. So I was like in 6th grade, I think, and I started field hockey like just the summer before 6th grade. And yeah, I mean, the program has really grown a lot, but with that, I've made a lot more friends. And like, we're a little family now, and it's really fun. And some of the tournaments are really competitive, but you also go to ones that you can just have fun and play with your friends, which is a really good experience.
So, and girls?
Well, we started I think we played middle school, which it's definitely not as competitive, especially in 6th grade when everyone's starting. But through strikers, we learned so many new skills, and grew so much. If we hadn't, I guess.
Yeah, that's great. And same with you?
Yeah, and I just think it teaches us team bonding and
Yeah.
it gets synergy when we're playing,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's obviously good. And I think it also gets us ready for other sports that we're playing that are maybe next in season.
And what other sports do all of you play?
I play ice hockey and lacrosse.
Oh, wow.
I play lacrosse. And
Wow.
I'm field hockey year round.
You are committed, right?
Yeah. Do you feel playing field hockey is better compared to other sports you played, or would you rate it as the same?
For me, I love all my sports. I feel like field hockey is definitely up there. It's probably my favorite, but I feel like I was even I've been saying this I play defense in hockey, and it's so similar to field hockey. So I feel like other sports help with it, but it's so fun.
Okay, so we got about 30 seconds left before we're going to go to our first break. So I'd like to thank everyone for listening here at 4D Sports, here at 13:20 a.m. WARA. Here at the news station, I stumbled a little bit, but it happens. We got about 15 seconds left. We're here again with the New England Strikers, with Linda Friend, who runs the program we talked about, and we will be coming back. I had too much coffee today. We'll be coming back pretty soon, continuing talking about field hockey, so stay tuned here at 4 Deep Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to 40 Sports Talk here at the news station, 1320 AM WARA. We were joined, again, as I said before, we were joined here by the New England Strikers AAU Field Hockey team, along with Linda Friend, who runs the program. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming in today. And we talked about, and you actually said you play field hockey year-round. So how do you think that benefits you? Obviously, playing year-round, you get a lot of exposure, a lot of experience, but also just having no off-season. How do you think that treats as a player?
After high school season, I jump right into strikers, and that goes until the summer. And then, obviously, I'll be getting my packets for workouts and training for college. And with the strength training that we did this year, especially, we worked out at EPS Edge Performance. Yeah, they have been preparing us really well, and I think I'm gonna do the next session of that because that has helped me build a lot more muscle and. I really think it's just keeping my mindset and my body obviously in shape is going to be huge coming into next fall.
Yeah. So what's the demand like in field hockey, especially playing so much, how physically demanding it can be, especially playing year-round like that?
It's definitely a lot. You have to make sure you're stretching and just doing the right things, eating the right things for yourself because you do get tired pretty quick because it's constant running.
Mm-hmm. And you two, you said that you play other sports, so you jump right in. Do you jump during the summer? Do you play the spring sports, or how does that work for you guys?
So field hockey is like strikers. It's all year round.
Yeah.
Fall we play field hockey, so it's like kind of all year round. Summer is more like training. We don't do much. We just train up like for the upcoming sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then of course lacrosse is spring too, so we and it's kind of hard from when you're going from field hockey in the fall and then lacrosse in the spring, and so you can be a little rusty when you're going into the next sport in the next season.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Oh no, what should we do about that phone ringing?
See who's calling, has them to come into the show.
There you go. So I was surprised that Coach Allie wasn't here. Where's Coach Allie at? She's letting you girls down. I know, I've known her for a couple months, and she's a great person. And
Allie's one of my U19 elite, the top of my program with the elite team.
She's awesome.
And so they're playing. They have a Bryant tournament, and they're starting.
they're underway right now. They're playing right now.
They start at 1:00. So she went from practice that we all just left, to go to that. That's Christina plays on that team too, but she opted out to come and hang out with us today.
Awesome.
So we field hockey. Can I just say something about this playing all year round? I was just at the USA Field Hockey Summit, which is put on by the Olympians and the national coach for the Olympic team. And it's geared to clubs and colleges, coaches, and administration. And there's been a ton of studies done at the Olympic level in different psych departments that talks about how well-rounded kids are if they do play a different sport and working different muscle groups, and just psychologically the difference between one sport and the other, and different friends and different coaches and different muscle groups. Christina talking about EPS in Foxborough. Brian McDonough is the owner of EPS in Foxborough, and he does a ton of training with NHL and NFL football players. So he knows different types of athletes and the different severity of treatment that they need to do, and the difference between women and men. We also train at Evolution, which is in Easton, and the kids that we work with and the trainers, they know the girls really well now, so we know injuries. And speed and strength training is all about injury prevention. So when these kids are playing full year round, like the Christina's level, that you're not overusing certain muscles. And when you get to the collegiate level, we spend 6, 7, 8 years getting them prepared for college. I do a full recruiting program also, so getting them to that level is a huge amount of work. And to commit to 2 or 3 sports while you're playing field hockey is extremely difficult. So, trying to kind of make sure and balance everything is extremely tough, and these girls do a really good job because, field hockey is me and my life, and I expect them, when we have practices, to be there. Especially at Christina's level, because everything is a system. We work everything in systems. So depending on what system we're doing or what tournaments we're going to or how competitive these tournaments are, when you're playing tournaments, like Christina was saying, against New Jersey or Pennsylvania teams, or we have showcase teams that play 11v11, so you're playing like a full college level game. And every single college is there having a look at you. There's a lot of pressure in a lot of different areas, as is any sport for sure. But girls' sports, girls are just made different. They're made different all around. They're very emotional. There's a lot of drama, and they're just fully dedicated though. And it's amazing. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch the growth. When these ones on my left started, 5th grade, 4th grade, whatever it was, 6th grade, never knew how to pick up a stick. And then watching Christina evolve from that era to this, Georgia and Ava have been looking, so a couple of Division I, very high Division I colleges are looking at them in 8th grade.
Oh,
wow.
wow. Pretty cool.
So in
Nothing
field
like
hockey,
evolution.
well, just so you all know, I'm
Yeah, I
sure
know.
it's very much the same in all sports. Boys' sports are very different. Field hockey, after you finish college, you move on in life.
Right.
You know, there's no professional anything unless you want to be, you know, a coach or you want to do something. So we prepare them so that whatever college they're going to go to, they're going there for the right reason. We know
Right.
their GPA and their SATs and all the academic side and the right fit for the kid is more important than what field hockey program they're going to go to. And then we, and Christina knows that I'm just very extremely brutally honest on like where you are in your skill level and what really. So we're not going to say you're going to go to Michigan State or you're going to go to some huge University of Maryland top Division I school, when really seriously she could probably play there, but she may not play for 3 years. So you have to do what's right for the athlete, and knowing them for this long period of time and playing together, you start to see their personalities and their strengths and their weaknesses just as a regular girl and all the things that happen in girls. And then putting them in the right college is very important. Very, very important.
Now, I have another question before I hand it over to those guys. You know how when does the showcase start? What age?
So
For field hockey, I mean.
So the club level we play January through June. Some clubs don't do that. Some of the highest level clubs that have a lot of kids that go Division I, they play all year round. They do not play high school like these kids are talented. They do not play other sports. They do not play middle school anything.
Yep.
It's full out club the whole year round. When you play high school, it's just a different vibe. It's a different level. You have kids that play club, and then you have some kids that do not play club. So it's different. From Canada, we weren't allowed on the national level. You weren't allowed to play for your high school or anything. You only played. They were afraid that you were going to get hurt, and that was a huge investment, and they didn't want you to get hurt. So here in this country, it's extremely different. Everything is about your high school and your middle school and supporting your town and being part of something. And it's such a memory that you have. Like, I don't have a lot of those memories because when you play at a high level, it's a job. It's a huge commitment. So I forget what your question was.
That's okay. That's all right. No, what I was asking was, what age does the AAU
I see.
showcase, showcase
Gotcha.
start?
So club is, middle school, high school, then club, and then at the end of our season in June,
Yeah.
then we have a group of U19 and U16 that play in showcases,
Okay, 16 years
which
old.
is, 14, 16, and 19. Division ones are looking at the U14s and early U16. So these girls are going into ninth grade. So Division ones are looking at ninth grade. By 10th grade, they're pretty much done. And then at the beginning of junior year, they can verbally commit. And then they can't fully commit them until the end of junior year.
Oh, okay.
So, and they can't talk to them. There's a lot of rules with the NCAA, just like any other sport. So, and during our season, January through June, we do play in some showcase tournaments in different places. We're going to Delaware in 3 weeks. We're playing in a tournament there. And there's about 200 or 300 teams there from all over the country. We've played in ones USA Field Hockey sponsors. It's called Festival. It's over Thanksgiving weekend. There's one that's at Disney, and that's in January. We've played some in California and some in Arizona, and but those are
Well, that's a
specific.
hike.
Yeah, really get around.
Well, this club that I have is not like specific to like this area.
Right.
So we have kids everywhere from, Franklin all the way down to the very tippy top or the tippy bottom of the Cape. So, for the girls, when they're talking about friends and meeting new friends, they've have relationships now with kids that they're going to play against in like high school. So
Yeah.
for years and years, the high school level's like, it's like these big rivals. And
Right.
sometimes when you get to a higher level, like these kids' age, it's very competitive and it's physical and you're like, it's a huge rival. But if you know kids that you're playing from club,
Yeah.
it takes this huge mental game away from, even though competitive, I play with them and I'm just as competitive as them, so it's going to be an amazing game. And they play a much better field hockey game. It's fun to watch. The parents are exciting, and you see a lot of colleges that now are starting to come to some of the high school level games because there's so many kids are involved. But the showcase tournaments are by far, we prepare for all of those though. Like we have little brochures that go out to the colleges, and we, the kids call their colleges, they send emails to their colleges saying, we're going to be at these showcase
Oh,
tournaments,
okay.
please come.
All right.
And so we have lists of like 100, 200 of those colleges that are coming to those showcases, so we know, is it worth going to that showcase? Because 11 of my girls have one college that they are interested in going. So if they have 50 colleges on their list that are going, then it's worth going. So those colleges know exactly what fields we're on, what numbers they're looking for, how long they need to be there to watch, when she's going to play, what shift she's going to be on.
Yeah.
So it's very precise.
Oh,
Very
it's really scheduled, really precise, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
All right, so we're going to step away. You are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA. And we are, thank God, streaming and podcasting live off our website at 4deepsportstalk.com. We are highlighting the New England Strikers field hockey program with owner Linda Friend. We'll be back with more right after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again to 4 Deep Sports Talk here at the news station, 1320 AM WARA. We're joined here by the New England Strikers AAU Field Hockey team, along with Linda Friend, who runs the program. So I was actually looking at your guys' website the other day, and so underneath all the teams, like you said, you got the U14, the U16, all that. There's actually multiple teams listed on there, so like you got a silver team, a blue team. Is that all teams within the same program, like kind of like a skill level, kind of like a varsity and a JV kind of level?
Yeah. When I first started the program, we just took one elite team and I cut everybody else. And so we played at a high level. And as years went on, I decided, what is a priority for a girl that wants to learn how to play field hockey? Is it to be on that elite team and play at the highest division that you can? Or is it just to get better to play lacrosse? Or is it just to meet friends? Or there's a million reasons why you play a sport, and it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the elite of the elite. Some clubs do different things, but as we moved on, I decided that there's no wrong reason to play, and if you just wanted to play a little bit more and not just play in the fall with your high school or your middle school, then who's to say that that's not a good enough reason? So that's why we have those different. The silver typically is the highest level, and then it goes blue and black are mostly, about the same. And then our away teams are kids that are just brand spanking new. They've had 2 or 3 of their friends that have played, and they see how much fun they're having, or how much their skill level's improved, or their physical activity is amazing, and they just are super well-rounded kids. And they want to kind of be like them, or they want to play with them. So it's a kind of difficult situation at the beginning, because like they all want to play together with those friends. But you can maybe do that in middle school, not so much in high school, but certainly not in club. I mean, the kids that are at the highest level are there to be recruited, and they have a purpose. And so, but everyone gets to, depending on what age group, everyone plays in 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 tournaments from April, May, and June, just depending on what level. And sometimes the kids can't go for whatever reasons, and so we bring some of those kids up, and as they grow during the season, we see a huge improvement in some of the new kids that could probably play at that silver level. So we give them the opportunity, and we let them play a couple of tournaments sometimes with the older kids, and that it's good. That's why there's so many of them.
That's pretty cool, though, everyone getting a chance to play,
Yeah.
instead of just, cutting people. So, no, that's awesome.
So my question for you, Linda, this may be a tough one, but could you explain some differences between Canadian field hockey versus playing American field hockey?
That's a really tough question. You're right. So remember, I'm like older than everybody in this room. So, so the difference between now and then is, I'm gonna relate it to like Georgia did with ice hockey. I played ice hockey also, and Canadians do things a little bit different. I found with ice hockey and field hockey, it's not field hockey, but ice hockey in the United States, there's so many different divisions and so many different leagues and so many different ways you can go. In Canada, it's a little more streamlined, and you play like Division 1 and you play Division 2, or in ice hockey you play Junior A or you play Junior B, but there's not like 7 different divisions within each of those. So it was different that way because you either played for your high school and it was fun, or you played for club, and that there was no deviating from the plan. And when I was 15, I played on the under 19 Junior Olympic team, and then U19 I played on the U19 and U21 junior team also, and then in 21 I played on the Olympic team. So we didn't have there was no difference. In the United States, when we started playing, Canada and the United States were not competitive in the world market at all, for sure. The Scandinavian countries like Holland and all of the European countries, they start like we do for soccer when you're like 2 or 3 years old. So a lot of those Pennsylvania, New Jersey teams are just like that. They start real young. Now New England has really come around, and USA Field Hockey has done an amazing job at trying to grow the program from a younger level. So giving kids sticks so that you don't have to pay, not paying for programs, just getting a stick in the kids' hands and having them have fun. And now, if you've watched or did your homework on field hockey and you looked at where we were in the last Olympics, they are super competitive now. We're at the top of the chain. We're in the top 3 or 4 teams in the country, in the whole world, and that's an amazing accomplishment. So starting the kids younger, making sure they have fun, and really seriously having fun and learning. So the difference really serious is we started, I think, a little younger in Canada, but the United States has just, and I hope nobody from my home is watching this or listening because they're really going to hate me. But I think the United States has done an amazing job at, coming full circle into the world level. And I had a conversation with the national field hockey coach for our Olympic team a couple of weeks ago, and they're really great now. I mean, they do it for the right reasons, and so I love where I come from and I love my country, but United States is right up there. My girls are going to be up there one day. We're going to have some of my girls on the Olympic team.
Yeah, it can be tough not to be competitive when playing sports at times.
Yeah. For sure.
So, like, how often do you guys practice? Is it like every day or like a few days a week or something?
So for strikers, we have practices Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Normally there's like different times in different places.
Okay.
So it can be in the morning or afternoon. But when you have tournaments, depending on the day, you would not go to practice that day and go to the tournament.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So when it comes to practicing and working out, what do you guys focus on really when it comes to field hockey?
We focus on a lot. We focus on skills, running, like a lot of different subjects, I guess. But it's all, we work on our weaknesses rather than like our strengths. So we're getting better rather than just like staying the same, I guess.
What's the most challenging now that you bring that up?
I mean, I guess it varies for like different people depending on like what their strengths are. Maybe for mine it's like noticing the field and the open players, or
It's like
But-
field awareness.
yeah, but I mean, like do you guys?
Well, for me, it's probably like my stick skills, because I'm not, like, I would say that like I'm more faster than I am good with my stick. So it's like hard to like when you like sprint down the field and then like you have to try to make a move and get a shot off. It's kind of like difficult for me because I'm not so strong with my stick.
For me,
Coach is disagreeing.
I mean, at like the U19 level, it's kind of past working on, like, obviously we need to like keep repeating the basic skills so we keep ourselves sharp, but the lifting and like strength, like you have to take that on yourself. And during practice, it's more about like playing with new groups of people. Like you're playing with girls from different towns, you have to adjust and be able to play with a new group of people, because college essentially what it is just playing with a group of girls you've never played with. You have to kind of figure out how they play and work off of them, and I guess that's really what we try and work on, so tournaments we look seamless.
Yeah. This question is it's for Linda. How would you describe the team's commitment to success?
It's a good question. I wish I saw those questions before we started.
Yeah, I write them down just so I remember.
I know, but those are really good questions. I'd be more prepared.
Thank you.
Commitment. It's a big deal for me. I really want to make sure that the kids are well rounded. It's an important piece. When I first started, that was not the focus. It was, you're playing field hockey, you're playing for me, you're going to commit at the same level that I committed. I didn't know anything different. But kids, it's super important that kids have other things in their life besides sports. It's super important that kids have other sports in their lives besides field hockey sometimes. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a team sport or an individual sport. It could just be taking a walk in the woods or a hike or playing tennis with your best friend or something. But when you get to the 16-19 level, those practices are mandatory because you're playing as a unit, and it's extremely important, like Christina said, like being seamless and being able to one-touch passes, knowing your field, being able to look at field vision is a huge piece for a commitment for a college level. So if you want to play at the U16-19 level and your goal, I guess, is to play in college, then the commitment is huge. You have to at some point, you have to make a decision. Are you going to play 2 or 3 college sports in college? Are you going to play 1 sport in college? Are you not going to play any sports in college? And then it kind of makes us take a look at, where they should really be placed. You could be the best athlete and not want to play competitively in college. So I'm going to take you off that big high silver team, and I'm going to put you on another one and just let you have fun. So that was a commitment, I guess.
Very good. What do we get? It's a minute 40, right?
Yep.
All right, so this question might get cut off because we're going to be going on. Actually, this is our 3rd break, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a third
Holy
break.
smokes, flying by.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I did too. I thought it was our 2nd break.
A lot can happen in just 1 hour.
That's true. But would you like to, as someone that's been involved with this for a long time, and I've heard of club teams in all different sports, would you like to see that turn into a league where you travel, but you get to, you let's say you play the same club team more than once? One home, one away. So would you like to see that more than just a set where you guys all go to, let's say, Delaware, and you're there for the weekend and you're playing in that round robin competition, or it could be double elimination, or whatever it is, or pool play? Most of it's pool play. Would you guys like to? Let me direct this to you girls. Would you like to see that more of a league than an elite team or a club team traveling?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, when we do go to tournaments, we often face the same teams because it's regionally there's not that many club teams unless we're traveling to Florida or Delaware or something like that. But I actually prefer going to colleges because you get to kind of experience what a campus looks like, especially for if you're younger. And if you're older and it's a tournament at a tournament at a college that you're looking at, that's extremely beneficial because you can possibly meet the coach or see the team.
All right, we got to step away, right? So we'll come back with that question. Now you guys have a chance to think about that question. If you want to call when we get back, 508-222-1320. We are highlighting the New England Strikers AAU Field Hockey team. We'll be back with more right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back. Dominic Damian along with Craig Salvador, Lucy Cabral, Justin Ferrer, and our new intern, Kathleen Connolly. You can call in again, 508-222-1320. Of course, we are streaming and podcasting live right off our website at 4deepsportstalk.com. So before we went to break, and we talked about this off break, I guess is the right way to say it. I guess that'd be politically correct to say it, right? About the club teams, because I think about it, because I umpire baseball, and I think about it, and you see these teams come around from around the country, but I think it would really showcase the actual program if you were in a league. I mean, it wouldn't, like a traveling league. I guess you could work it, play 11 on 11, but you could have let's say you guys go to Delaware. Well, they're hosting a tournament, but at the same time, it counts as league standings instead of how you compete. You know what I mean? Does that make a little bit more sense, I guess? Where you would actually play against these guys more than once in that town. Then they could come up here, play them over at Fort Kicks, play them over at Wheaton College, man, being hypothetical. But I think that would actually showcase the program better, if you count wins and losses and you know who's in your league. And then let's say hypothetically, the North will play the East for the championship at that age group, and then it'll showcase the program. I don't know. What do you girls think about that? Just bring that mic right over.
Well, I feel like for the club, the high school teams, they do that, and it does help a lot. But I actually like going to the tournaments better because I feel like I guess you would gain more experience maybe.
Yeah.
Like you play multiple games in a day, so after every game you know what you're struggling with, you know how to get better, rather than one game or 2 games every weekend, every week.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Let's say you guys go away for the weekend, you still count your wins and losses for your age group, your program you're in. You know what I'm saying? And then, because you know how high school is, you play the Hawk or whatever conference you're in here in Southeastern Mass, and then they put a program together that we personally can't stand because I don't think they rank the high schools right anyway in any sport. But that's another story for another day. But it'd be cool to see you guys play amongst those people you usually play, but then actually count standings. Then you could see who actually is the elite field hockey program, and then play them in a playoff format, work it into a playoff format, I don't know. I didn't know what you guys thought about that.
Well, the concept of that is very interesting, and each tournament there is a winner. You'll get a medal or a trophy or something, and obviously it looks good for the club when you come out with a win for a tournament.
Absolutely.
But honestly, I think I can't speak for Linda, but I think that club is mostly made to highlight you as an individual and how you, obviously you're not going to try and carry the ball up by yourself because no college wants to see that. They want to see you work with this group of girls that you don't work with in high school, and they just want to see how you're playing. They're not necessarily recruiting, well, sometimes they might be, but not always recruiting multiple people on the team. But that would be more fun if there was, a little league that
you know what I mean? I think that would be pretty cool.
I understand that, definitely.
All right, I know you have a question.
Yeah, I got a question for all 3 of you. What inspired you all to play field hockey?
Oh boy.
It's okay if you don't remember.
Well, actually, before middle school, because middle school is my first time playing. So, before that, we knew people that played, and especially a family friend, we saw her playing, and we were like, oh, that looks so cool. So I guess we've always wanted to do it, and I'm glad that we did. It's always just kind of intrigued me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always been cool to me.
This is a different sport,
Yeah.
So, oh, what's that all about?
Yeah.
It's a funny looking stick.
Yeah.
A lot of running.
It's all the stick is shaped like a candy cane. That's what my mother always said.
It is kind of shaped like
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We just
I
in
don't
the
really
last
think about it that way.
7 or 8 years, we just really there was no such thing as middle school. It was just high school, so there was no opportunity. And there's many towns that don't have middle school. So I try really hard in the fall not to do anything to do with club, because this is about your middle school and your high school and supporting where you live and your friends and your family and all that fun stuff. But if you don't have a middle school program, then we put together a strikers team that plays within that. But it's hard for them to answer that question, I think, because when they started, there was no middle school. When I started the middle school program 7 years ago, there was us, Franklin, and Cohasset, and that was it. And we played exactly what you said. We had little tournaments, and every weekend we played against each other, and that was the end of it. And now we have almost every single town in the Hockomock has a middle school program now. So it's amazing. It's come a long way.
Yeah, I totally understand.
I just think that, I don't know, that's just me thinking of, when I used to umpire baseball, you'd see like a team coming from Connecticut, New York, and they're like, oh, then and it would be a traveling team. And I just think it'd be more structured that way. Not just, you guys are still going to get shown off. You know what I mean? Because you are who you are. You're good athletes. And it does promote the program. And then some programs that are rebuilding or trying to get to that could also hurt them. I could see why they just want to play you guys on the weekend. Why get beat up year round? Right.
Once a
That
month.
right, once a month,
for
exactly.
20 minutes.
Right, exactly. And then I don't know. That's something I would think about is you play each other. You play, let's say, once a month or twice a month. At the end of the year, you have a playoff, and it's the best team in the region now.
Right.
Not just playing that tournament, playing for not just the medal, maybe create or New England. How many New England regional trophies have we seen?
Right.
You know what I mean?
USA Field Hockey, definitely, that's a huge part of where they're going right now. They're doing by region and putting out there. I hope it takes off. It's just difficult for us now because there's maybe 7 or 8 or 9, 10 clubs, like very competitive clubs in New England, and where and how they would do it. Like in the Hockomock League or high school league or anything that's regional, that's an easy thing. You can go to your next town, go to Franklin
Absolutely,
or
right.
Attleboro. But in the club level, there's like 4 clubs in like Maine that we play frequently, and there's 2 or 3 in New Hampshire, and there's 5 or 6 in Connecticut. But there's different levels of clubs, and
Right.
and I love that part of it because, we have 4 or 5 different levels in our club, so I can't put my white girls that are brand spanking new into a tournament against a couple of these other super, super, super strong clubs, because that's not what my goal is for those younger kids. So I think it's going in that direction, and I think we're going to see more 11v11 kind of like league kind of things. The one other thing with field hockey is trying to find the space to run like a league with like a full field. When we play 7v7 in the spring, and you can play 3 games at the same time on one football field across. So you can get 4 or 5 or 6 games in one day. But if you play 11v11 in like a league, you can probably only get like maybe 2 or 3 games because they're hour and a half at a time. So it's difficult. But colleges are looking more and more for that because they're trying to implement what they already have, and they want to be able to see all of those things that they have. And having like Christina come into that program, they want to see, is she going to complement the kids that are already 2 or 3 years ahead of her, that are already All-Americans, and is it a good fit?
Is she prepared?
Is she prepared? And let me
yeah.
see you in a full field. So it's definitely, I think we're going to see more and more of that. We'll see if we participate.
Oh, there you go.
And so talking college, what is, I guess, your involvement in the program with the college preparedness and communication? And
That's a good question.
yeah.
There's a lot that goes into once they get to the 16 level, and there's a ton of outside resources that the kids can go and they can have people that will help them with the recruiting process, and it can be anywhere from $100 to $5,000,
Yeah.
depending on kind of what they want or where they are. It's a lot of money to play at this level because the turf fields I pay $92,000 a year for turf space.
Oh my goodness.
So it's hard for me. It's hard for me to charge the kids anything for this recruiting process when they've been part of my life for 5 or 6 or 7 years,
Right.
and that's my end goal, is to put them into a program that's the best fit for them. And so it's a huge process for me. Really quickly, we sit down for 2 or 3 hours. We talk about everything on what they want to do in real life and what your grades are, And then we make them go on these little field trips, and we put 5 or 6 schools in one area. They don't go meet the coaches or any of that stuff.
Right,
They do
right.
little drive-throughs, and then they come back, we sit down, we regroup. Then we put field hockey in. And then I reach out to the schools that I know, and they have a checklist, like a spreadsheet they have to do. How many kids are leaving the year that they're coming in? What positions are they playing? Look at the coach. We make them go and watch one of the college games and just sit and watch the coach.
That's great.
Is it a good fit for
That's
you?
great.
And then at some point after they come and watch the girls play a little bit, making sure that it's the right fit for their program, then we kind of start to put them together, have them go to clinics that the colleges are, recruiting clinics that they're running, and then we have them come to see us, and then we set them up, and we have a full interview process on what they're going to say when they meet face to face. Then if they get a second chance, or they get an overnight opportunity, and then from then I kind of back off, and the kids kind of work with the coaches at that point and where they go. So
It's quite the process.
it's a lot. I tried to do it for all 19s for sure, and now we're trying to change it to 16s and even 14s, because I have some 14s that are sitting right beside you that are getting hooked up at colleges right now.
Yeah. So, girls, what is the most fun you've had during this whole program?
That's a good question.
What is it
That
about
is a
this
good
program
question.
that you really love?
I like to know that I'm getting better as like the season goes on, and I also like the team bonding, because say you want to play in high school, and so like girls from other towns that are also want to play in high school, you already have like this connection with them that will help you when you're on the field, when you're like playing. So that's probably like just my favorite is like the team bonding, and then like knowing that it will help you out like the next year.
That's great.
I think we're officially out of time.
Are we?
Yeah, pretty much. Just gonna have to-
Well, girls, you want to? That's all right. We want to thank you, girls, for coming on. It was nice. Linda, it was nice
Thank
finally
you.
getting you in here. I
Nice
know
to
we
meet
were.
you. Thank
you
you for
too.
having us
You're welcome.
very much.
And guys, we want to wish you all the best. You know, good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Come and watch us. Come
Absolutely.
and watch one of our. We'll send you a schedule. Y'all have to come.
There
We'll
you
put
go.
you on the sidelines.
Or maybe we can stream it live for you. We could always work something up, put on Facebook Live
Okay,
an
let's
event.
talk about that after.
You
That
know,
would
we
be
could.
fantastic.
For Catherine Conley, Justin Ferreira, the Sports Master, Lucia Cabral, Craig Salvador, and Dominic Damiano. We hope you enjoyed this hour of 4 Deep Sports Talk. If you highlighted Linda Friend and the New England Strikers, we will catch you next time. Everyone have a great weekend.